Hello, everyone. Today I want to bring you a poem that I'm going to call Waking Up. And I'm going to call this poem Waking Up because it talks about, and I'm going into a theme right now of like back when I had my psychosis, which I haven't told you guys a lot about, but I want to go into because I want to talk about mental health and the struggles that we face with it and how it can have a darker spiritual thing than we think it can. So here I go. This one's gonna be called Waking Up. I wake up from my dream. Things were never what they seemed. Because now I'm feeling normal and I can't hear your voice. I go along with the flow, but this is not my stream. Can I go back to believing there's more to find? Where my body and soul can truly unwind. I can dance a lot and lose the time. Could I go back to the pool, or would nature prove me the fool? I'd die a million times to live again inside my mind. Alright. So what that poem talks about is being in psychosis. When you're in psychosis, you have fluctuations of euphoria and you have fluctuations of just like believing that your thought is greater than everything else. And there's a part of that poem that talks about like the first part that talks about it is the part where I say the words don't reach me anymore. um I felt like these positive words of like affirmation just always coming through me, and like I felt euphoria from it. I felt like I could do anything and like I was unbreakable, and the reality of that was that those voices that I thought were coming from the universe or from God, or they're coming, it was coming from an evil place, right? Because it forced me to do, not forced me, I still had like enough conscious to make decisions for myself, but it persuaded me into doing things that were unnecessary, that God didn't want for me. And God's voice is not some type of lightning bolt that's going to strike your mind. The Holy Spirit comes in quiet waves of stillness, and it's a flow. It's different than than coming from a thought or coming from an outside source. It feels like it's almost flowing through you. So I would say to anybody struggling with these mental health issues where they're feeling like they're hearing God's voice, or they're feeling like they're like being told to do anything, God won't come to you and confuse you. He won't. So I go into that later in that poem, and I say, and this is just another part I want to talk about because it was a really dark time in my life where I I tried to take my own life, and I talk about the pull at the end there, and I talk about would nature make me the fool, and that's because after I had tried to drown myself because I believed had to sacrifice myself, I I felt like a fool. I felt like there was almost spirits laughing at me. Maybe there were. Maybe there were, because it was an incredibly foolish thing. Taking one's life is never the answer. And I hope we can continue to talk about it. and continue to put our faith in Jesus and just be there for each other. Because this life isn't easy. But we help each other through community. Alright, that's it for me. God bless. Peace out.